Hey everyone, and welcome to the Dawning, Dawncast, episode 162. No, this is
Dawncast?
RezoCast.
Dawncast?
Episode 162.
Is this Dawncast?
No, this is RezoCast. Hello, this is RezoCast. It is Lego, and I've got with me Hove and Wilson, and we're here to talk about the beginning of New Dawn, the season of the Dawn, and vape noises.
And
Vape
Wilson
noises.
coughing.
So yeah, we're if you've never been with us before, we are a Destiny-based podcast, based out of Clan Team Resolute. But yeah, we talk about Destiny, we talk about other games. We play games like Word Insertion, where we randomly try to fit in some words into the conversation that don't necessarily apply. But there's no points or anything. It doesn't really matter. It's just for fun.
Well, it matters. I just win every time.
Do you win if you're the primary person sending out all the words?
Yeah, because I don't send out my own. So
Yeah,
for
I guess you're right.
for every person, someone else gave them their words.
Last week
Yeah,
I fucking killed it, dude. I got mine done in like the intro last week.
I always have mine done in the
Fluently.
intro. Get on my level.
Well,
Yeah.
we've got a lot to talk about today. There's a lot that has been released with Season of the Dawn. I mean, to some, I guess to others, not really much is happening in Destiny right now. It depends on how you look at it. And just a few minutes ago, Destiny won. What was the official title of that award, Wilson, at the Game Awards?
Best community support. Otherwise,
Best?
in yo's haters.
Yeah, for real though. Dead game. What?
Yeah, right?
And it was cool that in that award they specifically said, this goes to like game developers who are being like the most transparent and like taking feedback from their community and stuff like that.
I don't buy it. They don't listen. They're lazy. They don't try. Dead game.
Did y'all?
They won those awards too, man. Don't worry.
Okay.
Did y'all see the DMG put out that tweet? It was so good. It was a few days ago, maybe like a week or two ago, where everyone was passing around on Twitter. You know how different memes go around that say like you're on sitting on a plane and somebody asks for a doctor and your dad's sitting next to you and he's like, oh, you're gonna go, you should have been a doctor, should have gone to school, like go over there. And like instead of the typical like you're gonna go over there and tell them whatever your job description was, his was you're gonna go over, good thing you went off to become a community manager, you're gonna go over there and tell them we're listening. I was like, oh man, that's too good, dude.
I like that.
But for real, they are listening and they won an award for it to show. Like that's crazy.
Good for them, man. Congratulations. That's good stuff.
Congrats, Bungie. That for some reason just reminded me of Brad Pitt in Inglourious Bastards. But anyway,
Me and my mom were talking about Brad Pitt today. I went and helped my mom do some Christmas shopping, and we were talking about Brad Pitt today. We were talking about actors that like when they started young, and then like nowadays, like how people like Harrison Ford and even like Brad Pitt's starting to look a little old.
Is he?
But just a few people, yeah, dude, like me and Sam, we're on the boomer train, dude. All right, we're on the boomer train. We've been watching Wheel of Fortune lately, and it's sad that Pat Sajak isn't on there, because he's having pancreatic cancer, and it's like, damn, all these like iconic people. When you get older, getting old sucks, man.
That's how it goes, man.
Yeah.
Saint 14's real old. Speaking of old,
dude,
we got him to talk about today.
He's older than Barbara Walters.
Who was it that Brad Pitt played in Inglourious Bastards? Was he Sergeant Slaughter?
Yes.
Okay.
And then they signed him to WWE in the 80s afterwards.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I saw a different movie.
That's the true timeline. Inglourious Bastards came out, and then Sergeant Slaughter was created back in the 80s in the WWF.
Dude, well, how's y'all's week been this week with Destiny and Season of Dawn coming out? Y'all enjoying it? What are your hot takes before we dive into things?
Quick hot take. Balderdash is a game that you could buy for $15.
I love seriously.
Season of the Dawn
$15?
costs $10. Balderdash is a shitty game.
You bite
Season
your
of the
goddamn
Dawn-
tongue.
Season
Have you
of
ever
the Dawn
have you ever
is
played
not
Balderdash?
shitty. I watched a video on it, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll go into YouTube right now and do. Let's see. Continue watching. I made it 6 seconds into the video before I turned it off.
It's not.
I'm not even kidding, dude. I was like, this is.
It's not like a game.
Stupid.
So listen, there's a word that no one knows what it means, and that every person writes down a fake, definition of it that they make up, except for the person whose turn it is. They write down the real definition. Then they all go into a pile, and everyone has to pick which one's the real definition. And if yours gets picked, you get a point. So you like make up. Think about us playing that.
And that's a $15 game.
That doesn't matter. Some word comes up. Some word comes up, and we make definitions for it. Can you imagine what that would be like?
No, listen. That's
Wait. I need to correlate Wilson's argument here to Destiny.
Oh, that's fine. I just want to say it is not a shitty game. You watch your goddamn mouth.
That's what I was saying. It's probably bad use of description by Wilson. You could just say, like, you're going to go play that game once, probably in, like, 5 years, and then you'll go play Destiny Season of Dawn for pretty much 3 months.
It sounds like the game straight. That, like, the janitor at their company, like, came up with. And they're like, oh, yeah, slap a $15 price tag on it and ship it out. And then people complain about this having a $10 price tag. Like, I don't know. I just thought it would be funny to work in word insertion along with a legitimate comparison.
I just want to say that I like Balderdash.
That's fair. I was a little harsh on it, but
you were a little bit mean.
So you would equate Season of Dawn to greater than Balderdash so far?
Yeah, it's not winning an award on the game show right now. Balderdash. Let's be straight.
It may have, like,
it's not winning any awards.
It's a card game.
They have no DLC roadmap. Like, there's.
I'm sure. I actually bet there is.
Yeah,
like,
they don't talk back with their community for feedback on, what is Balderdash doing? All right, this is kind of long enough. I'm sorry.
I'll have you know, there is a Balderdash expansion pack, so they do have DLC.
Oh, god damn!
I'll drop it.
Wilson, if you don't calm down with this nonsense, you're gonna be kicked off the podcast. We're gonna send you into the further. You're gonna have to leave. You can't come back.
Seriously, Hove's gonna freak a leak if you don't.
Can you tell Lego didn't know what that meant?
I just want to say that was impressive. Like how quickly
that was the best.
How quickly he looked up the DLC for that.
Hove's gonna freak leak. Lego, it's not like the same as freaking out. It is not. That is not.
I know.
It's not the same as springing a leak either. If you're comparing it to that.
Hove's. Yeah, never mind.
I'm just glad that's the first time in my life I've ever been told I was gonna freak a leak, so I'm good.
I just want to say that this is the fastest the podcast has gone off the rails. It's Speed Force levels of derailment.
Ooh, it's Dick Trickle levels of speed.
Oh,
boom.
Oh! Boom! For those of you who don't know, Dick Trickle is an amazing NASCAR race driver retired.
It's also it's also what I went through. It's also what I went through when I had a kidney stone. No. So I'm done with my words. You're welcome.
Me too.
Well, what about Season of Dawn? We're just getting started on that. And okay, I'll start. Since nobody else wants to talk about
it. Actually, you asked us how our weeks were, so we were talking about that.
And he asked about the dawning. To be fair, he asked about both.
True.
Outside of Destiny, week's been fantastic. Been playing a lot of games on the Switch. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Baked some thumbprint cookies with Sam last night, dude. I am a fucking machine when it comes to baking. I just want to let you boys know.
We're gonna retweet that right now.
Did you bake your own food for the podcast tonight then?
Some of it. I think there's still some left. They get hit up pretty quick around here. But been baking some cookies, did some Christmas shopping, spent some time with my mom today. Went and helped her carry like a bunch of shit that she had to go buy today. So I got out of the house for the first time in a little while, which was it was all right. It was really cool to see mom, but the outside world.
Yeah.
Not so much. Got a Sam's Club membership today, bro.
You're such an adult.
You're an official adult, dude.
Yes, dude. We are so excited. Sam's Club's amazing. It was sample day, dude, and I was fucking on one when I went in there, right? So the samples were being sampled. But of course, Destiny, Season of the Dawn. It was cool. I'm holding true to my taking a casual approach, except, so I was waiting for Great American Hero, a friend, to get off work to jump in. So I didn't get to jump in until like 7 o'clock Central that day. But I had been on playing all day, doing bounties, taking the air quotes casual approach, and did all the bounties possible.
Oh my gosh.
Made the stupid mistake because like last season we got the artifact and it was level based, so you had to like, you know, get XP and level up to get your artifacts. So I was like, whatever, I'll just turn these bounties in and get my artifact.
Right. Oh, that sucks.
So like 2 pages of bounties didn't count towards my artifact level, which is whatever. It was kind of like, hey dude, you said you were gonna take a casual approach, so it was kind of like karma. Yeah, but it's been cool. I've been enjoying it for what it is. Like I said, I wasn't really expecting anything like, you know, shadow keep levels or, you know, taking king levels for that matter. So there's still a lot more for me to do. I unlocked all the, what the hell are those things called that you got to do?
Obelisks?
The obelisks. Thank you. It's a tough word, man.
Yeah, all one of my words.
Yeah. I got all those done. Got some of the weapon bounties done. And I think I'm getting ready to get to the part that you're on, Lego. Yeah. We got to travel all the planets and find the hidden stuff, which I'm actually really excited to get to that part. So I'm just taking it slow, taking it steady. We got like 3.5 months to do this. What about you guys? What have you been up to?
Eating Taco Bell.
He has, actually. That's a true statement.
No,
I ordered that Taco Bell take. Yeah, let's hear this.
Yeah, I ordered it like an hour and 15 minutes before the podcast. Like, oh, this will come in, you know, like a half hour, it said. It got here like as we were starting. I like went downstairs, got my Taco Bell, came up, ate it. Cheesy Gordita Crunch was not so crunchy.
There was zero crunch.
There was no crunch. The rolled chicken tacos though held their crunch nicely.
Crunch.
Those are good. They're actually really good.
Real quick, they sounded amazing in these blue microphones and headphones. The sound quality of the Taco Crunch was really amazing. So why don't we go ahead and give a shout out to them real quick?
Yeah, if you're looking to get yourself some of these blue microphones and headphones that we sound amazing with, you can do so at bluemic.com using code RezoCast for a 20% discount.
Ooh, you guys are fucking good.
Yeah, it's more about this taco delivery.
Just like those tacos, yeah.
They were really, seriously, and all dead serious, the rolled chicken tacos, the current like promotional item, they're basically chicken taquitos. Get them, they're good. But gaming wise, get the spicy ranch, by the way. It's not what Lego thought it was. Gaming wise, the usual. I played a little bit of I keep wanting to say the Dawning, Season of the Dawn, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I've been playing a good bit of Apex still.
Did you rank up since last we talked? Are you still at, what is it, Platinum?
I only play when you play. Who else do I play with?
Oh, okay. I play solo sometimes.
I don't ever.
Oh, he plays without you, Hove. You hear that?
Good.
He knows.
I didn't, but I also don't care.
It's an open relationship. He's aware.
He's aware that you see other players.
Also been playing, got Wilson back into some PUBG. Also, I don't know how you'll feel about this, Wilson, but we have now started playing first person instead of third person.
Yes.
Which,
it's fun.
Me and Marcus were just saying yesterday that for the first time, because we dabbled in it in the past and we're just really bad at it for I don't know what reason, because like Destiny's first person, Apex is first person.
Because you can't third person and get all this information.
But you can't do that in Destiny or Apex, and it just...
Yes, you can. You can emote in Destiny.
Is it like drinking wine for the first time?
I know, Hope. I'm just being...
Would you guys just shut the fuck up? But yesterday, me and Marcus, like, the realization we came to is, like, finally, it doesn't feel like we're losing any games because it's first person. Like, it doesn't feel like it's hindering us. We haven't won one yet, but we finished, like, second or third literally every game.
Those are tough to win, dude. You really have to rely on what you and your friends can see.
You have to rely on gun skill, and we don't have any.
Well, especially when it's, ending in, like, a field like it does most of the time, and you can't see anything, and you just have to rely on, like, sound and spidey senses.
You're crawling around and stuff in the grass fields and stuff. Yeah, it gets super intense. I'm down. Hit me up.
It's been a lot. And one thing that's really cool, there's a website called PUBG.report. And it's
like trials.gg.
No. It's like, do you remember Guardian Theater?
Yeah.
So you can put in your Steam name And it or PS4 or Xbox, whatever you play on, and it shows anybody who was streaming when they killed you or you killed them, and it'll say like how far away you were, blah blah blah, where it was, and then you can watch those streamers. I think in the entire time we've played, I had 3 instances of that come up in third person, and I've already had like 5 in the last week. And we've seen no.
You stream sniping?
There's just almost every game. I've noticed people that I've seen stream PUBG. Like not all huge streamers, not like we haven't played Choco Taco or anybody that big, but
thank God.
Some of these people are still gross.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, Wilson, we'll have to do that first person PUBG. But Season of Dawn, I didn't get to play too much. I've had a really rough week, but I played on Stadia. I just goofed around a little bit, did up through the first run of the thingy.
Sundial, yeah.
The Sundial. Which was cool, I guess.
It felt very similar to Menagerie to me.
Yes.
The Sundial.
Yeah, because it's got the bar, like the progress meter on the left. The thing that kind of threw me for a loop was getting ready to go in. I was like, oh, there's Unstoppable and Barrier Champions. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'll just grab the guns that I had that stuff on before, right? No. No, dude. Like, so I had to grab, we had to like split up like Leviathan's Breath, Ariana's Vow, and like Divinity or something. I don't know. Actually, Divinity's Overload. Whatever the intrinsic perk on a lot of them are. One of the new the sidearms. Did you guys look into collections at all at the exotic sidearm? The perks on it?
No,
I didn't.
Looks pretty cool. I don't remember it like word for word, but it said it basically had like 2 fire modes on it. Like one's like a traditional sidearm, and one said it was like a direct energy laser of some kind. So maybe it'll be like a pocket trace rifle, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the scout rifle, the exotic scout rifle, if you switch it to the other mode, that those bullets are overcharge rounds. Yeah, I just read it on like Reddit last night.
I like that they're doing that with the new exotics. I wish we could put those mods on old exotics though, or just intrinsically put those perks on. We'll get there.
Do you know how I handled the barrier and champion or barrier and overload things in the Sundial?
You pushed them off the map.
Let the 5 other people in your fire team take care of it while you were off doing God knows what.
Literally nothing.
Emoting on
lagging around Stadia, trying to shoot.
No, you know what? I
put shaders on shit.
Yeah, I mean everything felt good with Stadia. The tower, I mean, had people in it. All the instances when I had to go kill Cabal and everything, there were always at least 3 people in my thing.
That's cool.
And I want to say maybe 2 minutes to matchmake 5 other people for the Sundial. I mean, long enough that I just like played on my phone for a minute and then it came up. So
nice.
Your attention span's that short that you can't sit there for 2 minutes?
Oh, it wasn't even. I hit it and was like, okay, like immediately. I don't have an attention span. How long have you known me?
I don't have an attention span.
I don't either. I just wanted to talk shit. That was more self-projected.
Yeah, you've been. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
He's salty.
Lately.
I like it.
I'm not a fan lately, Wilson.
Listen, dude. If everybody's gonna call me fucking toxic, I'm gonna be fucking toxic.
Who called you toxic?
Everybody, dude.
DCP, which
wow, you're letting
all of us toxic.
No, listen, dude. They spiraled me down.
Wait, first of all, you're letting Pope and Breyer get to you. Second of all, have they said something recently that I'm unaware of?
No. They just that's always been their MO for Wilson.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm toxic, man, so I'm just gonna live it up.
Whatever, Wilson. Fuck you.
All right.
I love you. I love
almost
you.
Christmas time. I love you too.
Also, anyone who's listening or in chat, check our Twitter. I just retweeted a video of Wilson making those cookies last night. That Sam sent me on Snapchat, and I was lucky enough to find out that it's also on Twitter. And it's it's on our Twitter. You have access to our Twitter.
Yeah, but I'm doing a show right now. I can't just. I guess I could just mute.
There is some audio.
Bathroom break. Yep.
There is some audio. So.
So I see.
Look at that. 2 mixers, man. That's how you fucking mix.
Dude, double fisting it.
Dude, I'm saying, and the bowl, you can't really see it. It was spinning and shaking. Like, it was, dude.
You look like a potter, you know, when he's got the little spin wheel thing going, like Mark Square, and he's
like Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore in Ghost.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what that made me think of?
It's a great scene.
Do you remember that time that I don't remember why, but we had a whole thing about I was gonna smother you in butter?
I do remember that.
I do remember this.
Your exact words were either like "baste me in butter"
I think it was
or
slather.
It was something. It was a very like ooh word. Like it was very like.
But yeah, Stadia. Wow. As far as Stadia goes, it felt good. I mean, I didn't have any problems. The little things I didn't have any problems.
How much, honestly, how much Stadia, like, have you been playing? Not necessarily just Destiny, just Stadia in general. And have you seen an influx on your data usage for your home internet? I'm assuming you have some sort of like a data cap, at least like at home. Mine's like a terabyte.
No.
Or something.
Yeah, I've never seen my data cap either.
Yeah, I have
also,
no idea.
I've done GeForce. I have my GeForce Now to set to like way higher gigabyte like bandwidth usage than it needs to be, and it's still like they've never said anything about my limit or never raised anything. So I don't think that Stadia is going to be a problem for me either.
Good. No, I'm really glad to hear that actually, because that was like my biggest concern that I figured would be a downside to it. But
yeah, depends on where you live.
Yeah, and if you're like trying to use your phone plan or something.
Yeah, it depends on your ISP.
Well, it has to be Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay, well there you go.
Yeah.
For now, anyway.
Well, yeah.
We'll see.
But yeah, I haven't played too much. I mean, Destiny's the only thing I'm playing on it right now. But it was really nice to lay on my couch and play Stadia. I haven't been able to do that in a long time because my PC. Like this is where I play PC, and right here on this monitor that you can't see, but it's right next to it, is where I play if I'm playing on PS4. So
and
I'm
it probably
like
doesn't feel that different as far as like frames per second than if you were playing PC. Like you don't like you're still 60 regardless. Whereas when you come play on PS4, you're like, oh, I hate everything.
You know? No, I mean, I don't know what my TV is, but I mean, I'm sure the refresh rate's at least 60. So yeah, no, it feels like I'm playing on PC for the most part. Like I said, it's the tiniest little bit. If I didn't play so much Destiny on traditional platforms, I don't even think I would notice it. But I mean, it's just that but it's so minimal.
Really, because so I saw Gamer Nexus on YouTube. He does a lot of like really technical like PC stuff, and they did like Google Stadia like teardown, and it was very game dependent. So there's some games like like a Tomb Raider game that they were playing or something has like the most horrendous input lag. But he said out of all the games that they had, that Destiny 2 was the best responding with.
Well, that makes sense. They were working with them for 6 months. They had Google employees in Bungie Studios, remember?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, I remember to put my TV on game mode and all that stuff. And it was, like I said, it was very, very minute. It would probably throw me off in PvP, but I'll bet you if I play that for a couple days and go back to traditional, like PS4 or PC, I bet you it feels like extra fast to me because you get used to something.
Right.
But it was perfect to just play.
That's a good transition for me to talk about a little bit because I kind of I had been playing a lot of Apex over the course of the end of the last season, and that's all 60 frames. Like it feels like so smooth, everything you're doing on console even. And then whenever I swapped back to Destiny, this was because I don't play Destiny on PC, but this was the first time I experienced that grinding halt like of your frames on the console, and you were like, oh gosh, this feels so slow and weird, coming from playing Apex so much. And so I'm excited to get Destiny on Stadia soon, because then I feel like not only is there like the smooth like frame rate, but also if you're used to only playing on console, you don't have a good PC, but also it loads so fast, like the load times just to go and do something real quick, like that's half the hassle for me sometimes. If I have a break of like 20 minutes, that on console it takes you like 10 minutes to get in and 10 more minutes to get whatever you need, like you're not going to get anything done. Whereas if you can just hit Stadia and you're in, and then you go to the tower and you're in,
Keep in mind, this is also a good week to mention that even though I didn't do it because I wasn't home, theoretically, the second it went live, all I had to do was hit Destiny 2 on Stadia and I load right in. There's no download the update. There's no none of that for console or PC.
That is
nice.
It's just no copying update that sits there forever.
Yep, just jump right in there.
That's cool. Yeah. So first kind of hot take impression of Season of Dawn, jumped in. I played, so it came out Tuesday. So I played Tuesday and then Wednesday and then played some tonight. I didn't play as much last night, but I played a little bit. So a couple of things with it. One, I was real confused, and I think some other people were too, and Bungie has released stuff about it, but I feel bad for anybody who's not in communication with the internet and Reddit, because even me as an avid, I'm involved in the community, I'm on Reddit, I'm watching Bungie's Twitter, I'm watching the community managers, and I went to Osiris to get the bounty thing, and it didn't get the next one, because you have to, for some reason when you grab one, and you have the next step, sometimes it doesn't show up and you have to exit out of his menu and talk to him again. And I didn't realize, and so I was like, oh, I guess I'm done with that. This is it. This is the season. After I finished the very first thing and opened up the sundial, and I was like, guess that's it. I did the sundial. It tells me to do that 3 more times for a level 2 reward or whatever, and I'm like, I don't really want to do any of that. And so I didn't realize that there's a story mission quest thing to do even in there on the first night or the whole first day. I was trying out the new subclasses and stuff. And so I was I guess at first I was kind of bummed. I was like, I guess this is all we're getting. And I kind of expected that, but I kind of also expected a little more story up front to get things rolling, apparently there is. I just didn't know there's a big long quest associated with it that involves a lot of, and maybe it's not that long of a quest. It just feels kind of okay, kill 100 things with this, kill 50 things with that, kill 10 things with it. And I hate quests like that. It just feels so, I don't know. It just feels like you're doing nothing new. I would have rathered it be go in the sundial and complete this 3 times. Do the new thing 3 times to get the story thing. I would rather do that, because then I'm not as soon as I saw that, I was like, well, I kind of just want to load up Apex now, because that sounds more fun than killing 100 things, specifically with this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'll go watch paint dry. You know what I mean?
I enjoy watching paint dry.
I almost took a picture the other day because I had a camera at a wedding that I just happened to set aside for a second, and I angled it perfectly where there's a big, huge, fat 7200 millimeter lens on it, and it's just facing towards a wall. It's literally I was watching paint dry with my camera.
There was a game on Steam called Watching Paint Dry, and you would
shut up.
No, for real, and you'd paint shit and then just watch it dry.
That actually sounds very soothing.
It's
like taco ASMR.
Taco ASMR.
I just said that.
It was a free game, I hope.
I know, yeah. Quickly, before I forget, this is just a quick yes or no, Lego. When those buddy passes do come out, for Stadia, do you want mine? Will you play it enough?
No, I'm gonna get it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my in-laws or something are getting it for me for Christmas.
Wilson, do you want it?
I have to be your buddy.
Moving on. Maybe we'll raffle it off for the podcast since you're
someone can win. The prize is being
a date with Hove.
No, you don't have to be my buddy. You just get 3. You know what?
No, you have to play.
You would have to be somebody's buddy.
You'd have to play every bit of content with that person.
Ooh,
wins.
Actually, that reminds me of something that is kind of out of place, but it's
buddy thing.
No. This is actually a real thing. So another thing we forgot to mention earlier when we were talking about what the podcast is, we have a Discord, a ResoCast Discord. We have LFGs in there for PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Stadia, discussion, Twitter questions, all that good stuff. Or I guess not Twitter, it's Discord. But one of the things I wanted to throw out there that we're going to be doing, at some point I'm going to make a publicly editable Google Doc for each.
Oh, right. An edible? We can eat it?
Edit.
Is it going to have weed in it?
A Google Doc that will be able to be edited by the public. So it's going to have one for each platform, and it'll just be a list of screen names or whatever they're called for each platform.
Yeah.
So it'll be pinned to the top of each LFG. So if you would like the people in the Discord to be able to add you, and that way you have the people, kind of taking the LFG to a new level. You don't have to go, hey, who wants to play? You can add anybody who wants to put it on there. So we'll have it pinned to the top of each platform's LFG, and you guys can all just add each other, and that'll be fun. And nobody wants to be my buddy. You can all suck it.
Honestly, isn't that the way it goes though? Like you don't really go to LFG that much unless you're going for something specific, but you kind of turn on your console, your PC, and you look to see who's on. That's what you do.
Right, and that's what I mean. So it's kind of like LFG built into our LFG built into the game.
But sometimes it's easier to message people on Discord, so it'll be nice to have people added, so that way you can be like, "Hey, I see you're on. You want to do this or whatever." So
now I do want to ask if anyone listens to this and is in the Discord, would you prefer each LFG having a pinned docket at the top of it for that specific platform, or would you rather have one doc with 4 tabs pinned at the top of just the discussion or general chat? Let us know in Discord which way you guys would like it better.
Okay. Has more edibles.
Fuck you, Wilson.
So back to the bounty thing.
Future.
What I really wanted to do was get to the end of that quest so I could talk about it, but I didn't realize it was a quest until like the 3rd day that we were doing this. I was just getting because you got all these new weapons from the obelisks, that Wilson was talking about. There's that new grenade launcher that when it hits the ground shoots a flame out, which is really cool. It's not even exotic.
The one on Mars?
Yeah.
What? I was like, dude, this. I was looking at it. And I was like, dude, this thing's gonna suck, dude.
I know.
I didn't know it did that.
What's really cool is one of the designers for that gun on Twitter. I saw him. It was today, cool. I think. He tweeted out. I got to work on a bunch of the obelisk weapons for Season of the Dawn, and a lot of them, this is my first time. I don't know if he said first. He was like, a lot of them I submitted the ideas to like his team, the first time, and all the different ones, and he said he submitted the grenade launcher one, and they had critiques for all the other weapons, like little notes and stuff, and the only note for that grenade launcher was like WTF or something like that. It was like holy crap, this is awesome.
That. Yeah. I think I saw it. No, that's great. That's actually got me excited. I think I might go scoop a couple of those scoop 1 or 2 of those after the podcast.
Yeah, I got one, but I haven't.
Come PUBG with me, Marcus.
Because the same reason that you had, Wilson. I was just like, oh, it's another grenade launcher, whatever. Yeah. But really, I was like, oh, I need to try this thing out now. That looks awesome.
Damn, I missed out, dude. So I messed up on bounties. You messed up on the quest system. We both goofed day 1.
Yep.
You guys are bad.
Well, I do. So I wanted to ask you about that. Was the quest clear to you? Like, is it just me that struggled with this? Because
no, I was probably just like not paying attention, and it was probably just like. And then,
were you high?
I mean,
there's a good chance. There's a real good chance that I just didn't notice it. I do remember something being funny and weird like that, but as Hove stated, I can't quite put my finger on it if it was the actual quest system or just me.
Yeah.
So, I think I ran into something similar, but I happened to like notice it or something and just like really didn't pay it much attention. I just thought maybe it was something that I did that messed it up, but I did notice that the quest system was getting a little weird.
Even though I struggled with that first part, felt a little weird, and I hope that they are able to make that a little more clear, like this is the thing you need to do for the story rather than like this is just a bounty, like differentiating, because it goes in the spot where quests are is the same spot you get like Black Armory weapon bounties, and I just feel like that needs to change. And they have a separate bounty slot, so I don't know why they don't completely separate those things. But anyway, to the part that I did enjoy, once I figured all that out and got past that and actually was like, okay, I need to do this kind of tedious thing, I went and did that, knocked it out real quick, and decided while I was doing it, I would just play Warlock and Hunter instead of just my Titan as normal because of all the new changes. I tried out the new Hammer Titan changes, but it didn't feel that different, and I don't really enjoy playing that class very much on the Titan, and so I was like, I want to try the new thing. So I've been playing the Floaty Boy Warlock with the double dodge Twilight Garrison
I knew
style.
You would.
But I don't like it.
Always known. Yes, you do.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't like it. I enjoyed playing the Hunter subclass a lot more with the throwing knives.
I'm actually surprised at how many people I've seen, and this isn't to argue your point. You don't have to like it.
Yeah.
Like big personalities like TV, I think Gigs saying like this is now my favorite subclass. Like some of the
Warlock one or the Hunter
one? The Warlock one. Like with some of the move, like if you dodge straight out of the like Warlock surf thing, you can really like gain some ground. Like you can get moving fast. You can move around.
To be fair, they could have introduced a paper bag as a subclass to those two, and they would still shit on everybody with it.
Well, the thing is, it is pretty cool. Like, yeah, you have to get used to it, and there's a learning curve. Like, obviously you'll see it play by one of them, and you'll be like, oh, that looks so cool, and you go try and do it, and you just fall on your face, because that's what happens. But
I want stuff like that. We've talked about that a lot, like high skill ceiling things. Yeah,
exactly.
That's great.
No, I agree.
It makes it interesting.
No, you were right,
Wilson.
Wilson.
Something that I liked, Wilson, going into it is that, and Hove, to your point, that, it's what we asked for, is that it was challenging to, I think it was more challenging for me because I don't play Warlock in like the past 5 years. Not because the thing was actually difficult to use. But once I kind of got a hang for it, because, yeah. I started like doing the dodging, and if you dodge and then use the boost, it kind of slows you down. But if you dodge and then aim, it like carries the boost and you're like going horizontal, aiming in the air, and it feels really cool. Or going backwards or whatever. It feels like you're pulling a Matrix move.
Is this I've seen look fun?
Is this the first time Warlocks have gotten any sort of legitimate quick movement?
Hove, that's what the Go Fast update was about.
Other than Blink, basically. I mean, they've always had Blink, which is
other than Blink.
Down.
No, they've always been slow and tanky.
I mean,
yeah.
But the Go Fast Dawnblade was
was in a super. I'm not talking a super. I'm talking about a subclass.
I mean, like they patched it recently, but like you used to be able to Warlock skate, but only if you had a sword.
And still, though, it wasn't like
you could go so fast that when you hit a wall, you'd die on a Warlock.
Hunters
had to have a sword.
Have such good mobility. I don't mean the stat. I mean actual mobility and Bones of AO and jumping around. Titans have always had at least some sort of skating. Warlocks, even the Warlock surfing, it was the fastest you could go, but you were never fast, and you didn't have this crazy movement ability. Like,
I think good Warlock players can go fast. Like,
I think good Warlock players just know where they need to be in an engagement to get to where else they need to be quick. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense to explain that?
Yeah.
Like, they need to know where they need to be so they can get where they need to be quick.
They've just never had anything, like, I know they kind of had that dash that you could do, like this one just once, but they've never had anything like, what was your stupid life jacket thing?
Twilight Garrison.
Twilight Garrison or Bones of AO or... It looks like a life jacket.
Yeah, I'm Gilligan. Come on.
He didn't wear a life jacket.
Yeah, he needed one.
They did on the Minnow, the SS Minnow, when that shit was getting tossed.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Like salad.
I'm just saying that's the words in the song.
Oh.
It got tossed.
Like salad?
Yeah,
but
like salad.
Real quick, before we get super into the subclass changes, because I want to dive deep into that, but the quest line, after I started doing with the other subclasses, and I actually enjoy now the part that I'm at. I think I'm close to walking the corridors of time. I'm not sure yet. I've seen spoiler stuff on Twitter, trying to stay away from it. But there's a part of the quest. This isn't story anything. There's a part of the quest where you need to go find these certain Vex cube things that you blow up. Kind of like there's one strike where you have to shoot the cubes to break the barriers.
It's like that.
Yeah. But they're all over like 3 different planets, and you got to go find them. And they're marked on maps the way that those hidden treasure chests are, or Cade stashes.
The golden treasure chests.
Like Cade's stash was there'd be a little mark on the map.
Cool.
And you got to like find and figure out where it is. And I love that stuff. I know some people don't like those kind of quests, but it makes me like look around the map. I don't like watching YouTube videos. I just like going and finding it for myself, and it makes you look at the map differently. And there's been a few spots I've been like, wait, I didn't know this was here. And I even misled a blueberry right before I got on the podcast, because there was one that looked like it could be out on this branch, and I was like, I didn't know this branch was here. And I walk out there and walk to my death, and I was like, oh, that doesn't go anywhere. And this blueberry tried to do it too. He's like, maybe that's where it is, and he goes and dies.
Jebaited.
Yeah.
Get jebaited.
But I just wanted to say I enjoy that part of the quest a lot more than the kill 100 of this. I don't mind doing strikes specifically or doing Crucible or anything like that. It's mainly the go and punch 10 phalanxes or something like that.
I just want to point
out.
You're
like a child. You are like
this
a child,
wasn't me.
though.
No, this is
you give the
community
man an emote of Lego
This is
space.
Community interaction. KB Ninja said, BRB, making my Steam name, quote, tossed like salad.
And then to which Hove responded, look at that face. That face has definitely tossed some salad,
Wow.
and then he puts 2 emojis of Lego's face.
Have you never made a salad?
I feel like I have been offended in some manner.
Yeah, man.
You've never made a salad?
You should get this Twitch channel banned, the cancel culture, for using your likeness without your permission.
Thank you.
I had his permission, actually.
Cancel culture.
You said, "Hey Lego, I'm gonna do this,"
and you just said, "Okay."
I don't know if that's asking permission.
This was not part of the deal.
I enjoy. I'm not even trying to, I enjoy a good tossed salad.
That's the word I was looking for.
I enjoy a good tossed salad once in a while.
Let's move on.
Okay, subclasses, dude. Let's talk about it for a second. Other than weapon stuff, because we got the exotic scout rifle and stuff too. So let's talk about all that stuff. But the subclasses, I did, because I wasn't really paying attention to quest flying. I didn't know what was going on. So I went into Crucible to try out the Warlock dodge and the Hunter stuff. And I have to say I did not do well with the Hunter dodges. I just felt like I was a floating target for scout rifles everywhere.
Wait. The Hunter dodges or the Warlock?
Warlock. Sorry,
okay.
Warlock dodges. Yeah, I was floating around and getting, scout rifled out of the sky by people just sitting in corners shooting in this. I guess people are going for scout rifle kills still.
Have you tried? Like, did you mostly use it as a like more of an actual dodge to get back and forth in and out of cover type of thing, or did you use it more? Because like I said, the thing that people seem to really be liking about it is the just straight line speed with it. Some of the dodging ability, but not just go up in the air and dodge around. Like the speed of it is the big thing. I think.
Speed of it on console, I've seen on PC. There's a way to make it like go faster off the ground, but I haven't. I think that's only on PC, and I haven't figured out how to make it faster on console. I could be wrong, but
sorry, you don't want to play Warlock anyway. Let's talk about what you've been enjoying on the Hunter, because I think we've all been enjoying the same thing.
Dude, so the throwing knives, the precision throwing knives weighted, dude, it feels so good.
The animation feels so clean.
So clean. Yeah.
So clean. I was really worried about it at first. I saw it. I was less worried. I tried it out. Amazing. Every pleasure zone when that throwing knife lands on someone's forehead and you unicorn them. Just knife sticking out. It's great.
Dude, and it's interesting too. I thought it was gonna be like a hold down the button and you like charge it and then throw it, but it's just like a click and you're into it. Like you can't stop it once you start, which is fine. You just took a second to get used to.
Kind of like taking a leak. You can't
freak leak.
That's it. How many times will we derail the podcast tonight?
That wasn't.
We're going for the most of 2019 and there's like 2 weeks left, so
dude, how satisfying is it though? So both PvE and PvP, because PvE you got Monte Carlo, and if you shot with the throwing knife you can just do another one, and if you don't get a headshot then you just Monte Carlo for a second and then you got it again and you can throw the knife again, and it does quite a bit of damage to one-shotting knights in the Lost Sector I was running through. Because the Lost Sector that you always grind out Black Armory weapons out, I was like, I'm just gonna take this in there and everything, just one shot. It felt so good.
Feels good, man. It feels very good to be rewarded for that. A lot of people were worried about it, and I really hope that my statement of in a world of shoulder charges and handheld supernovas, I think this will be fine.
Yeah. So. Yeah. No, totally. It felt very skill based still. Like I didn't feel like in PvP. Like I felt like I either had to get really lucky or I had to feel really good about my shot. Like, okay, that guy was running at me, like, holding the W key, or something like that, and it was like, well, he deserved that. If I had any other gun, I probably would have taken him out too. And then sometimes you get those really crazy. Cool Guy had some.
I was gonna say, have you seen some clips, dude? I'm seeing some Call of Duty shit, dude. Like people throwing knives super far and then just freaking out when those yellow numbers pop up and you get the kill.
Yep.
It's good, man. Feels good.
Just right off spawn. Just
that person going, what the fuck, man? How'd they kill me? They're on the other side of the map, dude.
That was the best part about Cool Guy posted one. He's like, he knew it had to happen, and it was on Twilight Gap where he just threw it and he couldn't see anything, and he got the headshot, and then he screenshot it or he put it up on Twitter, and then the person sent him a message on Xbox afterwards and was like, I hope you clip that and post it or something like that.
What a good
because it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, what a good sport.
Yeah, I know, it's awesome. But I want to get into the bouncing it thing because I haven't done that much yet, but he had some of that as well, bouncing the headshot,
trick shots, knives. Dude, montages with knives. It's gonna be great, man.
Dude, it feels really good in competitive too. I went through because I played Warlock on competitive. I played Titan the first day, which was a mistake. It was just sweaty, like out the get out. But I played on my Hunter last night, and I couldn't stop playing because it was so fun just doing the dodging. I was running Last Word Sniper with Beloved. Like, it felt like I was getting D1 vibes, you know, where you're just like popping out your last word, sniping, they're coming in on you, throwing knife, you know, you got another throwing knife, like it, and it just felt so good.
Can we talk about something D1 vibed real quick that happened this week, or do we not want to talk about that right now?
No, I think we need to talk about it. I think it might be time if we want to get off the subclass thing.
Well, okay, hold on. Titans though. Have you tried Titans? Have you tried anything with Titans? Well, let's not skip Titans.
KB Ninja in chat was saying that throwing hammers felt really good in PvE, but I only tried the big hammer boy, or axe or whatever, and I didn't really care. I've never really cared for it anyway. The throwing hammer thing where you build up damage over time is kind of cool for a little while, but it's not very satisfying. It's not the throwing knife feels so clean, and you get a precision shot. I'll tell you what would make it fun for me, and I saw someone post about this, and I feel like it has to happen at some point. It might be OP, I don't know, but we need to have a Titan Gauntlet exotic that lets you Thor the hammer back to your hand.
KB Ninja just said it right after.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it has to happen because that's what would make it feel awesome.
That I would be okay with that. There would need to be some sort of stipulation to maybe get it back. But yeah, I think that would be fucking fun as hell, dude.
If they took away the because right now if you hit something with it and then grab it, it heals you when you pick it up, and that would be too strong. Obviously, you can't do that. You know,
maybe if you just, the stipulation is if you miss, you can bring it back to you, and then like once you hit someone and kill them with it, it has a cooldown of
that would be cool.
Well, then your hammer would be gone. Well, no, I guess there's other ways to like build that recharge back. Yeah, whatever, dude. Just do it. It'll be fun. It's a good idea.
I'm down.
I like it. Just just print it out and fucking nerf it a year later, like one-eyed.
Dude, it would be cool too if like on its way back it could do damage, so you could like have someone around a corner, throw it past them, and then when they come around the corner, call it back and hit them with it.
Or you could have it already, you could have it already thrown and waiting in the corner for someone to come around and then just pull it back to you.
I just said that.
Oh, I thought you said throw it at them, and then if you miss, you get them on when you bring it back.
No, I said like just throw it past there, and then when they come around.
Yeah, just stash it like a booby trap.
Yeah, booby trap.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
I got how it works.
Booby trap.
as soon as the hammer hits something, it doesn't come back to you, and so that way you could like throw it and magnet it back, like as long as it doesn't hit something. So you could do what Hove said, where you like throw it past them and they come around and then hit them from behind.
I'm okay with if it doesn't do any damage.
Imagine six Titans.
What? That's what. Why are you making that face?
I thought you meant if it hits that, like even after the magnetism thing, it doesn't. Never
no,
mind.
I'm saying if it doesn't do any damage, you get to call it back.
Yeah,
100%.
Can I tell you my least favorite trend of 2019 that you made me think of, Lego? It's not your fault. This isn't a critique of you, but it bothers me.
Is it the DV?
No, I like the DV.
That's not necessarily a trend.
I think I know what it is.
What?
No, I'm not gonna guess.
No,
I'll be honest.
I want to hear your guess.
No, because I think I'm way off. Now you're installing doubt in me that I'm on the spotlight. I'll tell you if I was right or wrong.
Nope. Tell me.
No.
We're gonna have a good old Mexican standoff here, Wilson.
I don't think
I'm gonna continue on the podcast.
Just it's podcast related, sort of. Just tell me, Wilson, go. I fucking hate you. It's calling everything something boy. I hate that.
I was way off.
What? When you were talking about the one subclass being floaty
big boy,
and there's big hammer boy, and all these boys. You just made me think of it. It's not you, but like
it's not BOY, it's BOI.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Hammer boy.
It is kind of annoying. I see.
You just made me think of it. You keep doing it, Lego.
Quit being such a bitch boy. Sorry, it's related. It's a little over the line. It's canon because I'm being toxic, but it's also related to the conversation. So
I want to get some new exotics. Haven't got any of those yet, but the Titan one sounds awesome and I feel like would make me use finishers a lot more, because every time you use a finisher, it does an explosion on the person, which sounds awesome. And this sounds broken though, and I haven't watched any video. I know there are videos out about it, but I haven't. I just like staying off YouTube when a DLC comes out. I like just experiencing it, you know?
For sure.
But every time you get a melee kill against a guardian, it creates an explosion. So if you're using like shoulder charge and you do like a group of people, it just blows up and kills everyone, I guess.
Yeah, I love doing a group of people.
And then the hunter ones though, that looks. Have you seen those, Wilson?
The hunter what?
The ones that make you what is it, like Metro Prime, like every time you dodge it drops a little ball bomb.
The bombardiers.
Oh, the bombardiers.
Yeah, you're dropping little nuggets for everyone.
Feel like, wow, I was gonna say you're like Samus from Metroid, where you'd like roll up in a ball.
Yeah, I said Metro Prime. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, but then you dropping nuggets like a fucking hamster. Like,
well, that's what I just thought of after I said it. I was like, it's kind of like
it's great. They're just little hamsters running around dropping poop everywhere. That's all.
That's what hamsters do.
Hope sent me a video the other day of a monkey throwing poop at someone. Or was it Dewey?
Lady.
It was you.
No, it was me.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Hove was throwing poop, or Hove got thrown poop at him?
It was
either one. Was just a viral
okay, I needed some clarification right here. I needed some lore.
That hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah, the bombardiers for hunters, that it does sound crazy. It looks crazy.
It could be fun. I haven't got to try them yet. I want to, especially since I've been getting up in there with like shotgunning and stuff and doing a lot of dodgy stuff. So it would be cool to kind of like punch someone, dodge, drop a pellet, as Lego put it, and then just a little. Yeah. Other than that, I've only been playing my hunter, so I haven't had time to try out any of the other new stuff yet. But thank you for the peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
God damn it! Do you know what would bother me about the bombardiers?
What? It encourages the void battery thing, which I hate.
Well, does the little explosion change with your subclass? Because if I'm Arc and it's a little fiery explosion, that's gonna drive me fucking insane.
I don't know, honestly.
Do you know what I mean? I want it to be a little arc explosion or a little void explosion or a solar explosion. Everything else in the game does that.
Hey, that would be helpful for those 980 Nightfalls where you need to have a specific elemental type to kill something. Just saying. Playing match game. Oh, but you reminded me of something, Hove. So I said I didn't like, while I didn't think the Titan melee was that satisfying, like I just don't enjoy that very much, I did really like the new Warlock solar melee. That felt really cool. I felt like it could kind of blow up multiple enemies at once. And again, if you're running Monte Carlo, that's kind of fun to just keep throwing firebolts at people. Or if you're running a strike and it's got the brawler modifier on, where you just keep getting your firebolt back again, that feels pretty cool. And it felt really good in PvP. Probably felt better in PvP. I know it doesn't do as much damage, but I had a clip of I was running Skyburners and the floating Warlock, and so I was playing elimination, and I killed one guy with Skyburners, and then somebody kind of cut a corner and I was weak, and so I just jumped in the air, threw down a firebolt, and he was like a hunter jumping around, but he landed in my firebolt grenade for a second, and then when he came around the corner again, I just threw my firebolt melee at him and disintegrated him, and it felt so cool. I was like, man, this thing's pretty cool.
That's another clean. I haven't experienced it, but from what I've seen, that's another clips, clean animation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Something about those animations, they feel good when you they have that space magic vibe, and I don't feel like the hammer has that. Sorry, I keep harping on the hammer thing, but I'll talk about what feels really good. The Warlock solar melee, that felt really awesome. Even if it didn't do that much damage, it just felt good.
I think a lot of the things are even just the speed of your movement matching what you're throwing or coming out of your hand, because
you're right.
One thing that doesn't really, now I never really thought about it before, but one thing that doesn't feel that good to me, I really like it, but when you think about the animation, the long range arc melee for Warlock, because it has this it still has the really fast you're hitting someone with your hand movement, and then this slow bolt comes out and goes across the screen.
Oh, that's weird.
I really like using it, but like now that I'm thinking about just the smoothness and how it feels, it's like this. It's almost like you're punching, and then this thing comes out of your hand real slow and goes across the map. So it just those two don't like jibe together.
It's like a disconnect. Dude, you nailed it for the hammer too. That's what it is. It's the sound effect mainly, because the Warlock melee thing, it sounds like a fiery like thing is flying out of your hand, and the animation looks good. The animation's fine on the hammer, but when you hit something with your hammer, it makes like a little dink like sound, and it's a freaking fiery hammer. It should have like a sound to it that's satisfying, and it doesn't.
Make it have the same. Well, no, you can't have it make it the same sound as a super.
Make it have the same sound as when I hit Wilson in the head with a frying pan.
Make it sound like Thor's hammer. That's what I want.
Frequently. Something else real quick before we move on the feel good topic of things that feel good in the current season. I made a purchase in Eververse.
Ooh.
Can you guys guess what I bought?
It's the uppercut melee.
Yeah, the Shoryuken uppercut has arrived, and I have to say, I shoot enemies twice, and I just go around and uppercut fucking everything. I probably spent like 20 minutes doing that after I got it. Didn't even progress anything else in the game.
You know what you need now? You need to play on a Titan and get that exotic chest piece where people blow up when you do it, so you can just go around punching people and it blows up everything next to you whenever you do it.
Would be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. That feels really good. Should we talk about this potential next season leak?
I think we should.
That happened that accidentally. So this isn't full disclaimer. This is pure conjecture based upon something that happened to a particular player in the community recently.
Well, let's just talk about what happened, because then we can speculate, you know.
And if you don't want to know what's coming PvP wise next season, potentially even conjecture wise, you might not want to listen. But there was a player in the community who was doing a 1v1 with their friend, elimination, and after their private match, they went to orbit, and a little rectangular screen popped up, and it had the Destiny logo, and it said placeholder next to it. But the interesting part was underneath that, there was 7 dots, and then 3 dots, like the circles that weren't filled in, like on a Trials card.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are speculating that because of that summit that happened recently, where they invited out Dr. Lupo, Crafty, Band Wipe, so many other people.
I was there.
Who then came home and instantly started playing Destiny, and then purchasing all 100 levels on the season pass from last season, which to me, that is behavior of people who are planning on sticking around for what's coming. It's an investment.
Yeah.
So and Crafty was having a good time sniping. He played it a couple, I don't know if he's still playing it, but several days in a row he was playing. But I really think that coupled with the people that they had at the summit who were only Trials streamers when it was available. Like, sure, during the week they'd play other parts of Destiny, but when Trials was up, that's what they were doing. So it looks very legit. It's not just a photo, it's video. The guy was actually streaming when he did it. So it seems like it'd be pretty hard to fake, especially the fact that it has the placeholder card in there, because there's no image assigned to that particular card yet. So,
and I should point out too that it's not just this one occurrence. Like, if you go on Reddit and look at, somebody made a post about it happening, a bunch of people commented like, I thought I saw that. Like it's a split second of something that comes up, and people are like, wait, did I just see what I think I saw? And then they go to Reddit and they're like, it was that. Like, a lot of people confirming that
this guy got his to stay on the screen.
That's
like,
impressive.
He was scrolling his mouse over it. But not only that, I'm pretty sure in Astacross's video, people have already figured out like how to do it and like replicate it.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure there's already ways that like they figured out what you got to do to get that to pop up after the screen. So it's amazing, man. The community's pretty cool. I don't want to say Trials is coming next season, but it looks like Trials could be coming next season.
Are you saying you're going to be a Trials boy next season?
I almost said trials are coming back, boys.
No, that's fine. No, saying like we in there, boys, but it's like, oh, that's the big boy, the floaty boy. I hate. Yeah, get out of my face.
Yeah, Hunter boy.
Ooh.
I think no matter what, this confirms that they're working on it in some sort. They're working on a game type that has some sort of trials-like format. There are a lot of people joking around like, "Jokes on you, it's SLR," like Sparrow Racing trials or Gambit Crucible trials or something.
Whatever
like
it
that.
is, it's not coming this season. And one more bit of anecdotal, what I consider to be anecdotal evidence or slightly related, is DMG made a post on BNet recently stating that Trials of the 9 was indefinitely on hiatus. He's like, just as a reminder, it's on Trials of the 9 italicized once again.
Yeah.
Then he talks about how they're focused on like how they've been doing things for PvP. They've been swapping out game modes. They made Elimination its own playlist.
Mm-hmm.
And he specifically mentioned other game modes other than Trials of the 9, and they were not italicized in any way. Like it was definitely done as a focus. Like, look, Trials of the 9 is done. That shit sucked. Like it was fun for a little bit. It got old really fast. So I don't know. I'm really excited. I was really excited about it before, but I just found out about this this placeholder thing that's been popping up after people's private matches. And
was it only an elimination when they were doing private matches?
Yes, it was after you would go out of elimination and you'd go to orbit, your card would pop up. Nothing would be filled in,
right?
But it would be it'd be the blank little circles at the bottom of the cards signifying your 7 wins or your 3 losses.
I just really hope that they don't lock your goddamn loadout again when it comes back.
Can we talk about another? That's true. I agree. That is 100%.
That was one of the best things about it. Was like, oh, this team's really aggressive. We got to switch off our snipers type of thing.
Switch on the fly.
Yep.
Yeah. Something else that really concerns me, and I'd like to ask you guys a question. Does Trials need to be paid content to avoid cheaters on PC just getting banned and making new accounts and going right back in because it's a free-to-play game?
I feel like Trials, regardless of that aspect, is going to end up being part of the paid content, right? Like that's like the end game PvP if they bring it back the way we're used to it.
No, because in the original D2, when it came out, Trials was one of the things that was advertised coming at launch with D2.
But that was also Trials of the 9.
Yeah, and that was also...
That's true.
I agree, and it was also a completely different time for Destiny.
That's true as well.
Destiny 2, rather.
I feel like they don't need to do that. They don't need to make it a paid thing, and the reason why is because you're going to want all the guns to compete in Trials, and all those guns come from paid content stuff a lot of times. Like, there's exotic quests only available if you pay for the content, you know?
I think they need to slap a price tag on it.
Not its own price tag. I think it just
needs to be a price to entry. There needs to be whether Trials comes with some sort of other paid content.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, but there needs to be an entry because there's nothing. Here's the problem: all these people cheat in Destiny and get these guns and sell these accounts, or cheat and do it for other people's accounts, and then they get banned. Or if they get banned,
they just do it again.
You just start a brand new Steam account. You get right back on there. You have been minorly inconvenienced as a cheater. But that's not the way it should be.
But as like
you put a $10 price tag behind that, and so many people will think twice before they cheat.
I definitely agree that is a fix to the cheaters' problem, but we shouldn't price a game based off of something bad the other half of the community is doing. We shouldn't make our half of the community pay a price for that. Like, I think that, like,
do you think the raid should be part of the paid content?
I mean, it depends on what it. I think here's what I think, Hove. I can't argue as to whether a piece of content should be paid or not paid for, but I can argue as to what in the past Bungie has done and how much in an uproar the community would be if Trials was paid for. That is like the only, like, the thing to do in PvE, whereas D2 base free game has like in-game raids that you can do.
I agree. That's good points. Let me ask you this though: how long have we wanted a PvP focused season? A lot of people have wanted a PvP focused season. This would be a great way to put a price tag on that season. Like, you're not just, like Hove said, maybe you're not just paying for trials.
Yeah, I'm not saying like trials is an add-on, but it's part of the, just like the raid, it's the PvP endgame. It should come with whatever the pass or the DLC or whatever it turns out to be. I don't think it should be, hey, pay this extra money for trials. They can't do that.
That's interesting to have it a part of the season. Like, you pay if you're in.
Well, that's what I was saying this whole time. It's part of the paid content.
Yeah. Well, that's different than the DLC. You know, I get it now.
I should have iterated that a little better. I don't want trials as its own thing to be paid for. I would like to see trials have some sort of like entry that you have to pay for some way or another, whether it's through a season pass and hey, trials happens to come out with this season, or you know, there's some sort of, in order to get into trials you would have had to have up whatever for the season, and that would deter so many people from their bullshit. And I haven't seen a lot of it, unfortunately. I haven't even seen it firsthand yet, but dude, every day I get on Twitter and it's some clip of some dude who has infinite lives. Even though you take 7 of his lives in survival, he still somehow the round isn't over, and he's at corners of the map like that with his super up all the time. You can't have that shit going on in trials, dude.
I just don't. My basis of my argument for, like, you know, free or paid or whatever, you can't base that off of because people are cheating, we're gonna put a price tag.
I'm moving on from that point. I just think it falls into the same thing as like the raid. It should be the drawing point of said content is trials is back, get this content, trials comes with it.
I agree. If it's Hove's way, if it ends up being Lego's way, then they need to get a grip on their fucking anti-cheat shit ASAP.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine
have this shit, dude, running rampant. Dude, I know. Listen,
I can't imagine trials coming back as just part of the free-to-play New Light thing. Like, no, it's got to be part of.
One other side of the argument, real quick, and then I have no more points. But because one of the really important things for trials, and this is what makes competitive playlists so awful sometimes, is once you, maybe at the beginning of the season you'll experience this, or if you get to the top throughout the season you experience this, it's only the sweatiest of sweaties, and then unless you're not in there for that, you're like, I don't want to do this, you know. In trials, one of the things that made it awesome was it's just a bucket list of just who knows what you're get. Either one way, who knows what you're gonna get, or you go up as the trials card goes up, you face people in the same, you know, I don't like that. It
needs to be connection based. Get people their games quickly, keep them interested, keep them engaged, and keep them thinking about the next card.
That's my point, is that because we want high population in that playlist, if you charge for that, that's automatically less people than the base free-to-play who are playing Destiny or who are paying.
Right, but that's always going to be like that.
But my next point,
but it wasn't like that in D1.
It's a different game.
D1 was also, you couldn't cheat as much. Like, the only thing that you could do was network manipulation, which they crack down on that super hard on people who do that. You know, those people get banned indefinitely. But now that there's people on PC and other platforms like Stadia where you can have all this crazy shit running in the background, and now you're going to attach loot, like you're going to put armor and weapons like we did in Trials, dude. Like, you think people are going to cheat for their freaking 2100 or their 5500? Like, they get their 5500 and they're done. Trials, you're coming back cheating every weekend, bro. Like, you know,
if somebody cheats, First of all, I don't think that has anything to do with the conversation I was talking about.
No, that is my point. Like, it's enticing people to cheat more now. Like, if you think people cheat a lot in comp now imagine having 10 times the amount of rewards. Oh, and now it's weekly, and you can only get maybe certain rewards each week. They're going to be back every week until they get that loot. They're going to spend 2.5 hours cheating their way to 5,500 now. You know, that's my point. Now it's longevity of cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not saying you're not wrong, and I'm not saying that
you as well.
Yeah, I'm just saying that to me they're separate conversations as far as, like, my point. Like, I get that yours with the cheating has a lot to do with the free stuff, but I'm just saying the whole price tag thing and all that has nothing to do with cheating. But on the cheating side of thing, just out of curiosity, what if these people who are cheating get they don't just get banned. Like their account, they can never use it again, right? Like
so you may just make a new free account and download
that
the
has
free
no
game
gear
again.
from
then you
like
just
whatever
cheat and do it again. Like that's what I'm saying. Like they're not cheating for the. You don't like a lot of cheaters nowadays aren't cheating necessarily for their own benefit, like of getting loot in game and keeping it and continuing to play the game. A lot of these people just bump up that 5,500 and get not forgotten and just sell baby accounts. You know what I mean? Like you're making several $100 a day just playing a game brainless, and they're probably playing 2 different lobbies simultaneously at that point, because you could just cheat your way through it. Like I'm just saying,
here's another thing.
Just hit the teleport button. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Just from a business supply and demand point of view.
Yeah.
You put out content that people want so that they buy it. What is the thing that the most that people have been clamoring for 2 years now? I just don't see.
Also, didn't Trials launch with House of Wolves behind a paywall?
Yes, that is also true.
Yes.
Exactly. Like
it was just
it was introduced
what Hove said earlier. Destiny's a different game now, and that's kind of what I'm going off.
That's a good point.
I do see Hove's point of the the supply and demand thing, because I could see it happening. I just personally don't think that it will right now, but I
think it has to.
I could see them doing it though, because I agree, people would pay for it. I would pay for it. Even if they, if that was the main part of it, because that's honestly, so that gets into the seasonal thing. Everybody's talking about there's not much to do this season. What if Trials was in this season? Would that be content that you pay for to do? And I think the answer would be yes for all of us.
Right.
So in that way, I could see it happening, and that's kind of what Hove's been presenting this whole time.
I think we all make some very valid points, and I don't want to come off like I'm saying that
you don't.
Anyone's
No.
wrong.
Listen, here's one thing we need to work on this show, all right? We either all fucking agree on something, which is fine, or we disagree and then all fucking apologize to each other for disagreeing. We're allowed to disagree.
I agree with that.
Listen, I'm not saying this, and I know that I see your side. We're allowed to fucking disagree. Just disagree with me.
No, but that's good. The point of hosting a good argument is that sometimes you can make the other person from the other side see things from the other side.
And that's I think what we're getting at. It's not that we agree with each other, it's that we can see each other's side. I am at the side where I don't feel like it should be free. Hove is the business. I don't see how they couldn't make us pay for it, because it's such high demand.
Right.
And it would be so good. And then Wilson's side of it is toxic. It causes all these other problems, and I think it's a really interesting argument we just had, or discussion rather, over what it should be, because it was really I'm curious what people think now listening to it.
People having conversations and disagreeing on things usually lead to some of the most interesting conversations. If we were all just that's what I'm saying. Launch it,
but then we end every one of them with, you have some really good points and I agree with it. No, man, we're allowed to just say, you know what, I don't agree with you. End of story. Jesus.
I think the better conclusion is you have some really good points, but I disagree with you still. Like I did with Windler at the end of his episode last time. I kind of felt bad. I was like,
no, don't feel bad. We're allowed to disagree.
No, but I just shut it down without him being able to say anything afterwards. I was just like, yeah, I disagree. Anyways, this has been episode 100.
It's no secret that even though my webcam isn't on right now, that you guys know that I'm talking with my hands and getting really into that conversation. So I get a little intense sometimes.
We're fucking allowed to. We're friends. We know it's fine. Just fucking disagree.
Listen to Hove, man.
I know.
Dr. Phil up in this bitch.
I like this.
I was just thinking. It's because I was just thinking lately we've been so I really agree with that. We all agree, and we had this really good conversation with all of us having 3 different points, and then we ended it with I really don't mean
hug it out.
I really don't mean to hurt your feelings. I see what you're saying. I know how you feel. I just feel this way. We sounded like we were therapy. Listen, motherfucker, I think you're wrong. You think I'm wrong. It's cool, man.
Maybe
there's nothing wrong with therapy, there's nothing wrong with hugging it out in the end.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So that was a really good conversation. I'm really curious what everybody else.
So that was a really good conversation.
It was. I'm serious. I really enjoyed that.
I'm sorry that you really enjoyed it.
No, don't.
I'm sorry that your tacos didn't have any crunch to them.
No. The cheesy gordita crunch had no crunch, which is ironic. The rolled chicken tacos crunch like.
Okay.
I was thinking about what else to talk about, and there is
Raisin Bran Crunch.
Something very tasty to talk about. Oh, to cap off this conversation real quick about trials potentially coming back and all that stuff. The one thing that Dylan said on that Reddit post you mentioned, Wilson, was they still want feedback. They want to know what we think. Just discussions like this about the price or like 100%. The game modes and what.
So play elimination, because that's one of the things they want feedback
yes.
on.
Have y'all seen Cosmo and DMG in there like almost not every day, but every week for sure, posting something about a limb game they played and how it went and GG's to these people. Like they're in there because they know something's coming. Yeah, and so that's why I went in there too. I was like, I want Rusted Lands. I want to play a limb on Rusted Lands and see how it feels. And I haven't got it yet, and I'm kind of upset about that. But hopefully it'll happen tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, give your feedback. But also with the Dawn, I almost wanted to say the Dawning Season of the Dawn. New weapons. We got all these exotics. The scout rifle feels really cool. When you get all the charges in 15 times and then you switch the reload thing and shoot the shotgun type pulse rifle thing, that feels cool. But I'm more excited about a kinetic fusion rifle coming down the road. Bastion, I think, is going to be the name of it. And yeah, it's a kinetic fusion rifle that shoots like 3 kinetic slugs, I guess, but
the first of its kind, first of its name,
first of its kind. I've been wanting it forever, and it looks high impact. It has liquid coils on the description on mine.gg. So
I call shenanigans on that, because if they're kinetic and they're just little slugs, there's no liquid.
Then they're not liquid. Unless that's a good point.
Unless they're liquid until they leave the barrel, and the cooling of the outside temperature then turns them into a solid projectile.
It's all a bunch of BS anyway, because it doesn't have these perks, because it's just what the gun is.
And
these
what if the liquid coils have nothing to do with the actual projectiles? It's just how fast the gun charges up to shoot the projectiles.
Maybe so. No, but I'm really excited about that, because finally I can use a fusion rifle and use something in the secondary slot. I've been wanting to do that forever. So I can use Beloved, the sniper rifle, and use this exotic fusion rifle thing.
You're my beloved.
Such a great gun.
Rimpancy in chat. I want to play good, but I'm very old. Me too. I can't pull TV's moves with the.
My favorite part is he said, "I'm arguably the worst player in Rezo." I said, "If you met Rally, he'd like to have a word." Love you, Rally.
The oldest boomer of Rezo, Rally.
I don't think he's
really the oldest.
No, I think Davis is older.
I think he's in that classification.
Davis is the boomer.
I think so. Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's all weapon-wise. I know there's the exotic sidearm that's coming and stuff, and I know a lot of people are talking about the ritual weapons too for this season. Astrocross already has a shotgun video out for Gambit. That looks cool, but not really PvP oriented. But it's cool to see a shotgun out there. There's so many linear fusion rifles going on, Arbalest mainly in the Crucible, and that doesn't give me good vibes. But it was fun taking them out, playing comp with the throwing knife. Somebody be like charging up their Arbalest, just throwing knife down the hallway,
Can I take you out?
I mean, if you're offering,
just a one-hit wonder. Everything's just a one bang with Lego. Throwing knives, linear fusions.
That's all I use.
What
Double
else were you
special, whatever
Friday
you
night.
want to kill somebody. That's what I'm gonna take.
Quickest TTK, boom, headshot, you're dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shoulder charge. What? Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Oh, this is going way back, but when you said shoulder charge, it made me think of this person. Guess who else came and played PUBG with me this week?
Did Briar come play PUBG with you?
No, not that good.
Rally.
He plays all the time. Mana.
Oh yeah, that's right. You texted me and I was having a Dungeons and Dragons session.
Because he was.
And, first I fell asleep and then I got back with you.
One of the reasons he quit was because we always played third person and he wanted to play first person, and just didn't play. And so there was a bunch of really nice changes that we've talked about, and it's first person that we're playing now. So he came and played, and he had fun, and he wants to play again.
Good.
Nice. Get a full RezoCast of PUBG going.
We've been saying that.
I know.
We should.
I know. We have once, I feel like. Maybe not though.
Probably not.
I think we were all there for that time that I always laugh about when Mana hopped out of that truck to mow those dudes down,
and it rolled down and killed him.
Back down the hill and killed him.
Maybe.
He goes, all right, let's do this, and he hops out, and he was in such good position. You could see two sides of two unaware enemies that had no idea that he was there, and just as he was getting ready to pull the trigger, that Jeep rolled right back down the hill and ran him over.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
That was fucking glorious, dude.
So next up, we need to get to community questions because we didn't last week, and I think there might be some left in there that we need to answer.
Ninja had a good one.
Or bad yeah, he had one straight from the get-go. So real quick, the Dawning's coming back.
I'll put it in chat.
And yeah, this isn't in Season of the Dawn. We get the Dawning with Dawn Blades going off, and we get a new SMG from Eva Levante, a quest for it, I guess. And there's like new armor and stuff from Eververse, of course. But there's also an ice skating emote. I just saw that I didn't see that before.
Isn't it a finisher too?
Yeah, it's a finisher. That's really cool. Actually, I didn't see it till just now. But there's also a Dawning like page on BNet where they show off some more of this stuff. And I think two of the things we're going to be going for is not just the SMG, but also the ship. There's a Sparrow and a ship, and the ship looks really cool. I want that ship. If you want to get me to play some content in Destiny, show me a really cool ship, because I will do pretty much anything for that, or a shader. Those are my two things.
That ornamental stuff is pretty cool, even though I've stated that we shouldn't be clamoring like yes, I do want more of that stuff in game, but I don't think it should be the only source of it, because that's not like we weren't used to that in D1, so I don't know why there's like this big clamor for it now. But like you said, you put a good ship, a Sparrow or something just cosmetic up for grabs, and I'm doing those activities for sure, dude. Cosmetics,
same.
Big weight, dude. It's crazy. Like something really cool that people want. I liked the what was it, like the Black Talon Sparrow? You could like basically like ride the sword, the Black Talon.
Yeah,
that one.
It looks like we might get a Black Talon ornament there for. Yeah, it's got like snow on it and has like a snowflake emblem.
I got the Black Talon Catalyst and the Lord of Wolves Catalyst. Yeah, I got both of them. Yeah.
I didn't get shit.
What does the Black Talon Catalyst do? I didn't read it.
I don't know.
I was just like, oh well.
No, I do know. I was just being stupid.
Oh, okay.
I think it has something to do that if you block incoming damage, like your outgoing damage is amplified.
Oh, okay.
So meh.
I mean,
we'll see.
I like using it in PvE because it's a sword that you don't have to get up close with, and it lets you do the 2 slices in the air like really fast. So if you block something from a boss and then start attacking, that could be pretty strong, actually.
KB Ninja says there's a very short duration for that. There's a very short window for that particular mechanic.
That I think makes sense because of the long range of it. Like you can just immediately throw something. You don't have to get up close.
No, you should just keep that buff, dude, and walk around and just pick that sorry bastard out of the Crucible that's gonna get one to the face, like one blacked out of the face.
Speaking of keeping that buff, though, that scout rifle, the new exotic one, I want to say that I love that while you're getting that buff rolling, you can switch weapons and go back to it, and it still has the buff on it.
And if you get a ×7 on that, you like 2-bang somebody with those Seekers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's nasty. Fallout plays. Our good friend Fallout put out an amazing video on that. The title is "This Gun Was a Mistake," I believe. So, because he's always doing nasty shit with builds, and guns and stuff. So,
did you guys?
Real quick, Hove, because this has to do with the gun too. When I also like that the buff doesn't go away when you switch to the thing that gives it the buff damage, and it doesn't start ticking down until you shoot the gun after that. So it gives you time to like find an enemy, because sometimes you get the buff going and you switch modes and you're like, I'm gonna do damage, like you pop your super and then everybody disappears and you're like, oh, everyone's dead.
Where they at?
Dang it. Yeah, so you keep it until you find enemies to shoot at, which is really cool.
Then once you start shooting, the timer goes down.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's cool.
So hopefully this is something that's new and I'm just not a season behind. But did you guys see the perk Osmosis on guns?
Yes.
Is that new?
I think that's
that is new.
Okay, good. I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's amazing.
Did you see what it does?
Yeah.
That's the one. the
elemental change
to whatever element your grenade is, well, your subclass, if you damage someone with it, and it stays until you holster the gun.
Right.
And also, I got it on a kinetic gun, so that's cool.
Yeah, you can get those on kinetics. Yeah, Marcus was talking about that.
I didn't know that.
I got it on that. What's the auto rifle you get like right at the beginning of the quest?
The Saint 14 one.
Steel Feather something.
That is a very good looking gun, by the way.
Yeah.
The aesthetics of these weapons that are coming out are oof.
Dude, I used that gun in a PvP in a limb, and it was actually pretty nice. I liked it a lot.
So I haven't had a chance to use it. That was like the last thing I did is I got that gun before I jumped off. But that perk sounded, like I said, sounded really cool. And like I said, I got it on on that kinetic auto rifle. So that's kind of cool, especially if you're playing, like a match game or whatever, you can.
Right.
That's like a third elemental gun if you throw your grenade while you have that gun out. So
yeah, the 980 Nightfalls, that's gonna help tremendously with match game. Yeah.
So it's kind of a neat thing for your energy weapon, but it could be really, really useful on a kinetic.
Nice. There's some other new perks too. One was, there was one that was really cool, and I can't remember what it was. But yeah, there's a lot of new stuff out there. I think maybe I was thinking of the grenade launcher with its new archetype. But yeah, lots of cool stuff out there. I'm excited to try out all these new perks and everything. There's new mods that we haven't even talked about because they're kind of hard to get into, and you don't really. Some of them are unlocked, I think, right away on the new armor. That's like you get buffed with light when you do something, and then you put these mods on your armor to use the buff of light that you get.
Yeah, so things like picking up an orb of light,
right?
Killing enemies with like a crit or something or not.
Have you messed with that at all, Wilson?
Yeah, I have that on. I haven't messed with it too much, but I have noticed that I was like, why all of a sudden am I like one-shotting these ads that I wasn't one-shotting a minute ago? And then I looked down and I saw that I had one stack of that buff left, like one shot.
Okay.
And it took the shot randomly into nothing, and that buff stuck around until I actually damaged something with it. So your missed shots, from what I could ascertain, are not. You're not missing buffed shots. Only shots that are landing are being buffed.
Yeah,
because it gets a little crazy out there sometimes.
So that would work in PvP too, then, since you could pick up orbs of light to buff you and then use that against other guardians in PvP. I'm guessing
there was something else. I have some on my armor. I'm in right now. I'm looking around. Yeah, like the high energy fire one. While charged with light, gain a bonus to weapon damage. Each defeated enemy consumes one stack of charged light.
Okay.
So you actually have to defeat them. That's for the expending of it. Then I have one for picking up orbs of light. Then I have one for. I could have swore I had another one for a different task.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So couldn't that be useful on like if it only goes away when you kill something? Couldn't that be really useful on like heavy and snipers and stuff for like boss damage if you can stack whatever that is?
It goes away when you hit something, not when you kill something.
There's one for breaking shields, finishing, and
Wilson just said it was for kills. Didn't you?
What? The one where you expend the light?
On a kill, not a hit, right?
Yes, it is actually on a kill. So the yellow one, high energy, while charged with light, gain a bonus to weapon damage. Each defeated enemy consumes one stack of charged light.
All right.
So if you could build that up on like a sniper or a LMG or grenade launcher, whatever you're using on a boss.
Sounds pretty good. Yeah, so this is the part of the game that I really like getting into with mods and armor building and stuff, and I feel like I got into it last season, but I hate the beginning of the season when you don't have any of this stuff and you don't have the resources, you have to build everything up, and it's like, I just want to experiment and like play with it. I don't want to go kill and that's why you could hear me like bickering about the quest line at the beginning, because I just that's not the part that's interesting to me.
Well, you know what they say though, if you play with it too much, like you'll have hairy palms, so don't play too much.
I also heard you go blind. Just by the way, I can't see shit, dude.
Well,
I have such
they
bad
also
vision.
say that you got to have a little bit of foreplay, and so I guess that's what I'm trying to do here.
I don't think that foreplay is supposed to be alone. I think you're supposed to be with somebody.
All I want to do is walk the astral plane with Saint 14, and I can't because of this quest line, and I just want to get there.
You're stuck in this corporeal dimension.
Yes. Let's do some community questions.
We don't
pretty much.
We don't really have any. Kind of.
We got one from KB Ninja right here from chat.
Wasn't that the first thing we talked about that right before he got in there though? That was the first thing we talked about.
We congratulated the team, but his specific question was after Bungie won that award or Destiny 2, thoughts on continued support improvements for the game. Like I'm guessing maybe Ninja you can clarify in chat, but I'm interpreting that as like ways that maybe the community
I'm interpreting it on as the thoughts on continued support being what they won for and improvements for the game
by the community leaders. So do you guys have any thoughts or opinions on that?
Nothing. I feel like it was well deserved. I feel like it was kind of a no-brainer. Some of the they weren't up against any slouches either. It was like Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, and what's the other one? I can't remember. I thought there was one more nominee. Oh, I'm so bad.
I will say, to be fair, none of us play any of those other games enough to really know the difference.
I've played a lot of Rainbow Six Siege, and I've played, not currently because I know it's like an ever-changing game, but I have played.
I mean, I've played, but like, do you know what their community support is like from an in-depth like you do with Destiny?
Follow their community leaders and stuff.
They get a bunch of feedback from like 10-year-olds in Fortnite.
But that has nothing to do with their community, like how their
community.
Well, it's not.
No, it's not about their community. It's about the
leader. It's the way they communicate. Yeah, because that's what Bungie won the award for, and I think that I can't, like Hove was saying, I can't speak to the other games, but I can speak to what the Destiny devs are doing, the Bungie devs, and I feel like lately within this season, since they basically separated from Activision, and specifically since the release of, I guess, Shadowkeep, I feel like there's been so much communication back and forth, like always like taking feedback, even from just random people, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, like everywhere. They're commenting, like asking for feedback. And whenever somebody says something like this event sucked, sometimes like I'll even see a comment from Cosmo or somebody being like, well, why did that suck? Like, tell me like what was bad about that. And so they're like listening and trying to improve these things. And you see it kind of every other season because of the way the game's built, that you do see these things come into play. Like even this season, I was thinking about it, and last season somewhat, but we get these bounties with the obelisk, where we can ask for a specific weapon and we go and grind out the thing for that gun, kind of like we got from Menagerie that we really liked and they heard feedback on it, and now we get that sort of thing. Or even how the Sundial feels like Menagerie did in a lot of ways because they got good feedback on that game type. Or Elimination and Trials potentially returning, and Elim coming back, and old D1 maps, and all these things happening that community really wants. So, and I feel like they really do respond a lot. And so I'm not sure if I have any thoughts on what they could do better, because I feel like the people would want to say, like, why don't you just tell us when Trials is coming, or why don't you tell us specifically what you're working on PvP? But they can't, like, they need to hold some hype back, like I feel like they're saying as much as they can for now and giving enough hints on Reddit with italicized words and stuff. That's as much as they can do. I feel
no offense, but a lot of those people don't know the first thing about running a business or running a marketing campaign. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's not to their fault. They didn't choose that profession, but like, I feel like we went from having the occasional peek behind the curtain to a completely open door.
Well, the one thing
bar.
I love open bars. The one thing I'll say that Luke Smith mentioned that they were going to do that they haven't so much, even though I don't think it would be right for Trials. But anyway, do you remember when this whole new light and Google Stadia announced all the different stuff that happened in that same week, the break from Activision announcement? He specifically said they were going to tell us things even if they weren't set in stone. Like, hey, this is what we might be doing in 3 months. I feel like they haven't really done that since that day. But I don't think Trials is the right time to do it either, because Trials is such a big thing. If you get people too hyped about what you're trying to do and it doesn't work that way, that would be a disaster.
Well, what about with Elim and how they put it in Crucible Labs with all the different respawn things? I mean, like, which one do you like? We're thinking about, you can kind of.
Well, yeah, but that's still putting something in the game. I'm talking about when I forget what example he used, but he said, listen, we're not going to wait until something is about to drop. Like, we're going to tell you, hey guys, like, we kind of want to try to do this in the future. We might come out with this, but we might not. But we just want to throw it out there. That was like, we're testing things. That I don't see those as the same.
Did he specifically say? See, I didn't. When I watched that Vidoc, I didn't see it or live stream. It was a live stream, I guess. I didn't see it as we're going to do this. I read it as like, right now, we typically don't do this, but I'm going to do this. Don't expect all these things that I'm saying to, like, I'm just laying it out there. I didn't read it as like, from now on, we're gonna do this. It was just like in that moment they were doing that.
I don't think so. What did he do? What did he say about that then? What thing are we talking about that he said was going to happen? That
he talked about all the different seasons and what they wanted, the things that everyone's harping on them now for, like, I thought this season was going to be PvP renewed focus. That's what he was saying, was like, don't hold me to this, but I'm telling you, this is our broad vision. I'm not saying for sure. And now people are holding him to it anyway, but
I want to say he said, like, we're going to, like, tell you things ahead of time and plans may change.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like, I would be down with that. But you can see how it backfire. I can see why they don't do that, and I don't ever necessarily even want them to do that, because you see how it's already, even with them saying what the seasons are going to be, how upset everyone is that this season wasn't renewed PvP focused of what they were expecting.
I thought next season was always going to be that one.
I don't know. I think that's what everybody has said, is that it was next season, but it gets even misinterpreted into as this season,
Well, that's if they said next season, that's not misinterpretation. That's just people not fucking paying attention.
That's just wrong.
And I have no sympathy for that.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't have any other thoughts on it. I think they're doing a really good job.
Agreed.
Boom.
Didn't we have one from Anon from Discord?
No? Well, he asked last week, is it too late to ask a question? And it was. And then I said, it doesn't matter. We didn't do questions last week anyway. So go ahead. And then he went, I didn't think I'd actually get the chance. So he just rattled off a bunch of stuff. Wilson, how did you already complete your decks? Just farming the wildlands. Also sword or shield. Amped or low key. Which starter? I don't know what any of that means.
Lots of Wilson questions. What sword did you go with?
Sword, amped, Score Bunny. Filled my deck so quickly because I'm a fucking Pokemon master.
G.
He's a big Pokeboy.
No, honestly, my friends Marcus and Spiffy, they both bought a copy of Sword and Shield, so there was a lot of trading going on back and forth. There was a lot of breeding mons at the nursery, getting eggs, and then doing max battle raids to get candy to level them up. It was all just about filling that dex and get to shiny hunting, which I'm 5 deep right now. 5 shinies deep, boys.
I don't know what that means either.
They're rare versions of the Pokemon. Like, they're not like different forms. They're literally just a different color.
You're a different color. Beerman89 says, okay, question. Have you ever liked a song, then saw the music video, and it changed your view on the song? No.
I think I have watched a music video that made me interested in a song. Like, that was the first time I heard a song, and I was like, oh, that was kind of cool. And then I want to listen to the song again. But I don't think I've ever listened to a song and then gone and watched the music video for it and changed my mind about anything.
I know that's happened to me many times. And unfortunately, like, I just straight up can't think of one off the top of my head right now.
Really? You've liked a song and then saw the video
no,
I don't like that song anymore?
Oh, well, no, it's changed my opinion on it, not necessarily in a negative way, but like, holy shit, I thought this song was about something completely different. And then now seeing, like, because let's be real, not all music videos follow what the song is about.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
But some do. You know what I mean? And some do, and sometimes I will see one where I'm like, whoa, man, I thought the song was about something completely different, you know? And then it's kind of the beauty of music. I mean, is the beauty of your own interpretation. You know, it's like art. It's in the eye of the beholder sort of thing. So, I mean, have I heard a song, liked it, went and saw the video, and then didn't like the song? No, but I wouldn't like, there's been times I like maybe didn't like the video, you know?
Right. And then I just wouldn't watch the video anymore.
Right. Yeah, I'd maybe bring up a YouTube video with the song that maybe just had the lyrics or something instead of
or just
the music video.
Not watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
YouTube's great.
I came across.
Go ahead. 2 questions left still from our Twitter that we haven't answered from past.
Twitter
that we didn't do. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll read them.
Most of Twitter's past.
We got Matt Grundy asking if you were stuck working on the moon for 1 year and only had liquid meals that entire time, what is the first meal you'd want when you return to Earth?
Burger and fries, man. A good cheeseburger.
Really?
And fries.
Fluffy ass pancakes.
No, like homemade. Like I'd want to like do it right.
Did you say fluffy pancakes?
Fluffy ass pancakes, dude.
Really?
Yeah, man. Pancakes, some fucking bacon and eggs, dude. Breakfast.
You're such a stoner.
Here's the thing about breakfast, though, man. Breakfast is good at any time of the day.
So are burgers.
Wake up, roll over, and eat a fucking burger and vlog it, motherfucker. And
I've done that.
And then vlog your painful ass experience the rest of the day.
My stomach knows no
bounds.
No equal.
No, I said your painful ass day. You don't want to wake up eating some greasy.
I don't want to see that vlog. Thank you.
Make it happen.
Mine would be tacos for sure. Like
tacos would be up there, but I just feel like there's
guac.
So much more. Like, first of all, guac's bad.
First of all, he just has tacos on the mind because you had tacos podcast.
I mean, it would be that regardless, but yes.
I just feel like a big juicy, but there's so much more substance to it. Like I love, you know how much I love tacos.
I would want fluffy pancakes or a big ass steak.
I was thinking steak.
Steak, yeah, that crossed my mind, but tacos is the ultimate. One last question.
Or a cheesesteak.
This isn't really a question as much as a
wait,
comment.
yeah. Can I say a burger or a cheesesteak and fries? Because they're kind of similar.
Yes.
Also, last night I spent approximately an hour watching YouTube videos on the best cheesesteaks.
It's a terrible
in
idea.
Philadelphia. I was so hungry and I wanted a cheesesteak so bad.
Why would you do that?
Because I'm a glutton for punishment. I hate myself.
Now I'm hungrier by proxy, having just known that you watched that
for like an hour. Like people like visiting all the like really well-known cheesesteak places and watching them make it and eat it. And,
fuck that, dude. I would have to have just ate a meal to watch that.
I don't.
Okay. Last question. Comment. Shadow Eyes says, so if we can resurrect Saint 14, can't we resurrect Cade 6? And I think, like, first of all, we don't know yet if Saint 14 is staying till the end of the season. Maybe we don't necessarily completely resurrect him. Second of all, we now know, and maybe you know this too if you're playing Shadow Eyes, is that, you know, Osiris made this sundial specifically tuned to Saint 14. So
not only that, who knows the stipulations behind it? Like, was he there for the final moments and he needed to preserve like just a tiny bit of him to keep that, you know, that timeline going? Or, you know, like we don't know the we don't know the space.
Also, ask the writers, because if they want to do it, they can just say this is how it works, and they can.
There's that too. But also, have you read the lore on BNet about the whole Saint 14 thing? And Osiris mentions it, but like it goes into detail on the specifically building it for Saint 14 thing. And there's one part where the Drifter comes by to check out the sundial, and he's like, Sagira's like, what is he doing here? He's like checking out, making sure everything looks good, because I guess he knows a thing or two about time stuff. I don't know. And so Drifter's checking it out, knocking things around, and he leans over to like the main part of it, and it's like whispering, the lore says. And that is creepy. Like, and Drifter says, and then Drifter after that, something whispers from it, and Drifter goes over to Osiris. He's like, oh, so you use that for the core. And he was like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Like, that's a I can't believe you're doing this.
Probably taken or something.
Yeah, you might get us all killed, and then he like takes off and doesn't want anything to do with it. If Drifter doesn't want anything to do with it, that's some shady crap.
You just gave me another reason as to why he's probably my favorite character in the lore.
Who, Osiris or Drifter?
No, the Drifter.
Because he's pretty cool.
He's just a fucking normal dude caught up in a bunch of shit that he doesn't even want to be around and deal with. Like, all this shit has been thrown on his lap. He doesn't. He just wants to do cowboy.
He's tried
shit.
to die how many times? Like
he just wants to, and this is legit. Like, he just wants to be a space cowboy. He wants to cruise, explore,
like Tommy
do
Lee
his own
Jones.
thing, maybe rob a bank or two here and there. Like, but
he
wants none of this shit, and he seems to be at all the pinnacle moments. He's like fucking Forrest Gump, dude. He's in every pinnacle moment throughout fucking the timeline, dude. It's like...
It's true. Someone's gonna shoot him in the buttocks.
Run, Drifter, run.
Ugh. So I have a question.
Okay.
English muffin or crumpet?
Wait, what were my choices again?
English muffins, which are like American versions of English things, or crumpets, which are actual English things.
I don't think I've ever had crumpets. So
I've never had a crumpet.
Muffin.
Yeah.
Do you have Trader Joe's?
Nope.
No.
God,
I mean,
Aldi's, bitch.
It's like an hour away.
Aldi's and Trader Joe's aren't like the same.
No, I know. I just feel like saying
look up your local grocery stores and find a place that sells crumpets. Buy them. They're like a breakfast thing. They're like kind of like an English muffin or a bagel or something, and they are delicious.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see.
You will.
Hey, bullshit, dude. I ordered that fucking atrocious fucking orange cinnamon topping bullshit. What was that? That orange...
the orange cinnamon rolls. Those are bomb.
God, that was filth.
You're filth.
It was like I opened a product from the 90s and decided to put it on my food, and like it had been that long.
Just try crumpets. They're delicious.
Fine.
Well, thank you for listening to RezoCast episode 162. Appreciate y'all coming out. Be sure to join the Discord if you have not. The link is in the description of the podcast wherever you may be listening or watching it. And yeah, check us out at RezoCast on Twitter. Love to hear from you. Love to keep up with you. You can find me, Lego, aka Legoli Flash, at Twitter, Twitch, YouTube at Lego LE Flash Hove. Where can they find you?
Twitter at Hove76, twitch.tv/Hove76 every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern when we do this podcast live, which we should start saying at the beginning of the podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
And I guess YouTube here soon. I'm doing I got some ideas.
He's vlogging that burger.
I'm not
8 a.m.
It's not really, no,
6
I'm not
probably.
vlog. God damn it.
Today we're going to be rating the Taco Crunch on the delivery.
I am. I'm going to go to, you know where I'm going to go? I'm going to go to Eaton Park one morning before work because they're open 24 hours with a full menu.
Oh.
And I'm going to get a burger.
I want to hear about it. Vlog it, bitch.
I'll vlog it.
I'll FaceTime both of you.
No, vlog it. You got YouTube it. You got a YouTube channel to keep up.
I don't. Triton? He's next. You can't go, Wilson, until Triton goes.
Wilson!
You find me on Twitter, man. Ryu Wilson. That's RYU Wilson.
Find me on Twitter.
All this talk of food, man. We gotta wrap this up. I'm so fucking...
I'm gonna put some taquitos in the oven in a second.
Sam brought you food during the podcast.
Bro, I think you underestimate the power of the munchies.
Have you seen me? I succumb to the munchies more than most. Although I'm now down 15 pounds as of this morning.
When we went down to Florida, I ate like one breadstick across like the course of like 2 days until I actually scored some weed, and then I couldn't stop eating. John brought all those wings. I'm like, yo, dog, you gonna finish that? Like everything was getting freaking annihilated. Seriously, let's wrap this up. I'm hungry. Love you guys.
Well, you can find more about Team Resolute at Team Resolute on Twitter. And yeah, I guess that's it. Until next time, GG.
Peace.
Bye.